So let's start off with the environment. This year's been an amazing year. We had these photos of England, do you remember that? Which was just white with snow. It was very, very cold. And equally we've had, interestingly, 14 million people affected by floods in Pakistan. Russia has had 40-degree temperatures. They've stopped exporting their wheat crops because it's been such a problem. 20 degrees above normal. In China, they've had huge floods as well. In the US, 5 of their cities have had record all-time temperatures. Here in Australia, of course, we had the Bushfire Royal Commission indicating a $4 billion cost. But even more recently, we've had substantial, floods. Now, I'm not suggesting that every weather event is related to climate change, but warmer weather will inevitably result in more moisture in the atmosphere and heavy rain periods. It's certainly been the second hottest year in the record of the planet. And so far this year, 17 countries around the world have had record temperatures. Now, I'm in business, and I think that's a risk. I think the planet is facing a substantial risk. I met the CSIRO at a very interesting event in Bayside recently, and what they have confirmed is global temperatures are increasing. Sea levels are going up 3 millimetres a year, and carbon dioxide emission in the atmosphere is now 386 parts per million. It's approaching a dangerous level, not seen for 800,000 years. So, this is an interesting graph. We often talk about, emissions. We are the worst in the world, from what I can see. 28 tonnes per person per year. That's worse than the United States. It's significantly worse than Europe and Japan. And everyone talks about China. Well, they're 3 tonnes per person. Now, it's growing in China, admittedly, but they're still per capita a long way below us. Now, of course, overall, because they've got 1 billion people, they do emit far more. They're, in fact, the worst in the world. One thing I can say is I'm going to China on Friday this week. They are building renewable energy like you would not believe. They're putting up in the Mongolian desert as an installation that will power 3 million homes. This year alone, they have done 504 megawatts of solar, which is basically substantial, 5 times roughly what we've done here in Australia. So, I go to Europe and all these conferences and people say, you live in Australia, don't you? And I go, yeah. And they go, you've got a lot of land mass there. And I go, why don't you have energy farms you've got all this sun, why don't you have energy farms making solar? And it's a really good question because this is actually a map of the world and the amount of sun that hits the planet. And the sun actually provides 5,000 terawatt hours of energy a year, and we only need 23 terawatt hours a year as human beings. So in half a day, the sun provides enough energy to power the whole planet for a year. The problem is we just don't capture it. And so those little black dots you see around there, if you had substantial power stations in each of those, you could power the entire planet. They're the best spots in the world for solar electricity, and we have one here in Australia. Now, does anyone know which country installed the most solar this year? Germany. Any idea number 2? It's Italy. And number 3 is the Czech Republic, interestingly. So, in Germany, they are in the blue zone there, which doesn't get anywhere near the amount of radiation that we do. In fact, they get 30% less output from solar panels than we do here in Australia. Italy is about the same as Victoria here.